I guess I got it. Stall. All right. So this is I read a poem earlier today. It was a bit different than what this is going to be. So this is inspired by a honeymoon trip. I'm married. Did a honeymoon trip to Italy. With my lovely wife, Jessica. We're married too. This is a much longer poem, so I cut it a lot, and this is the back half. So, just to give you a little context, we're in the Medici Chapel, we're looking at some art and stuff, and I'm just thinking of being married and that kind of thing. So these are kind of that, what I'm seeing and what I'm thinking, kind of. All right, here I go. I was in a room standing with my wife, and this was a room that was going through renovation. The room had 3 of Michelangelo's sculptures standing in that room in the Medici Chapel. My attention was taken by one, Mother Mary feeding baby Jesus. It was the look on her face I will never forget. There he was, a swaddled babe in her arms, his mouth clasped to her breast, his left hand reaching toward her face. Was he trying to get her attention? She looked so tired, so exhausted, yet she still was feeding him. Though he in her arms was greedily sucking, did he ever get enough? Her eyes were down to the right, away from baby Jesus, being held to her left breast. Was she taking time for herself? And what if the milk runs dry? That would not be so sweet. That memory still gets me thinking about how we live now, struggling with Earth. Some call her Mother Gaia. We live here, and do we actually know what here is? Stalled enough?
We're good.
Okay, good. I'm very excited. This next act, very rare indeed. He is the thoughtful comic from the future. Welcome to the stage with rousing applause, the thoughtful comic from the future.
Oh, you people like to sweat. You people like to sweat. It's hot. This is part of the act. I'm just taking my shoes off. So anyway, I'm from the future. I flew here. Boy, are my arms tired. Because I wrote these jokes on the airplane. I'm ambidextrous. I took a plane to get here from the future because Mike asked me to. This is my first stand-up ever. Because I'm from the future. This is time before I was born. I am the thoughtful stand-up comic from the future. And let me tell you folks, the future is harsh. How harsh is the future? How harsh is it? The future mixes beer and wine. It's harsh. Future once killed a man for snoring. It's harsh. Future's like a snakehead eating its own tail, being eaten by a mongoose. It's inside the belly of a whale. It's beached on the moon. Nasty British solitarian, harsh. With an H. 2 H's. Harsh. I've noticed there's a lot of differences between the future and the present day. You know, in the present time, you go out to Whole Foods. In the future, you go out to Hoard Foods. Hungry times in the future. A lot of jokes about that. Present time, dinner comes to you with Grubhub. Yeah, Grubhub. Okay. Well, in the future, you become the dinner with Chudhud. Chuds are cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers.
Oh, right.
Remember those?
Humanoid.
Joke from the 80s. In the present time, you have Facebook Watch. Yeah, right? In the future, you have a boot stamping on a human face forever. But enough about the dystopian future. How do you guys like your president? Boo! Oh, yeah, Mike warned me about this sensitive topic. Who would have thought, who would have thought, right, that you could take a sunburned amygdala, metastasize into a mean TV clown, give it the power of life or death over every vertebrate on the planet, and it would have turned out so fucking good, right? Right? Oh, you don't think so, huh? Yeah, you're the worst president ever. Oh, he's terrible. He's real bad. You said that about George Bush, right? George W. Not even Herbert Walker, George W. Bush. And then you were wrong. Because there's a worse one. And then a worse one after that, and then a worse one after that. It just keeps going. The future, the worst is a relative term, and at least half of the infinity is in the future. So, what would you say? Plenty of presidents worse than Donnie Diamonds. I could go on and on. Laundry list of future presidents. President Ted Nugent. President Joe Esterhazy. President Steven Seagal. President Fonzie's jacket. Yeah, but the one really sticks out in my mind is personally the worst in my lifetime, my future lifetime, is probably President Piefucker. Yeah, I mean, people really thought he was going to disrupt the status quo, juice up the economy, make our national defenses strong again. But turns out all he really wanted to do was fuck pies, right? I mean, we should have known. The guy legally changed his name to Johnny B. Piefucker. Right? That should have been a bit of a red flag. Well, live and learn. Live and learn. Enough about politics. That's heavy talk. Let's talk about architecture. You guys sports fans, right? Yeah. The local market franchises. How about them A's, Oakland A's, Oakland Raiders? How about that Oakland Coliseum, huh? What a pile of shit, right? Right? It's a terrible building. Architecturally speaking, I mean, it looks like a parking garage in a suicide cult had a baby. But seriously, I wouldn't make fun of the Coliseum just because of the way it looks. That's stupid and weak and shallow and mean, and it's not really my style. I'm a thoughtful comic from the future. And I make fun of the Coliseum not because it's a bad building, but because it's a bad person. The Oakland Coliseum's terrible. It pees on your bathroom floor and cleans it up with your hand towel. Uncool. Uncool. It is not mindful. It made that nest full of baby robins disappear when the neighborhood kids were at school. Remember that? Not cool. The Oakland Coliseum owns a CrossFit gym. I don't know, they gotta know my audience. Yeah, the Oakland Coliseum hates Gene Wilder, man, but it loves Tim Allen. Yeah, well, who am I kidding? I love Tim Allen, especially his movies, in particular the Santa Claus, the Santa Claus 2, Santa Claus 3, Santa Claus 4, Santa Claus 5, Santa Claus 6, Santa Claus 7, Santa Claus 8, Santa Claus 9, Santa Claus 10, and red belts. I love red belts. Do you guys like science? Yeah! There we go. CrossFit and science. That's what these people like. Did you hear the latest news from the scientists? They have come out with a finding that there are more than 400 stars in the known universe. more than 400 stars in the known universe. Yeah, 400. It really makes you feel kind of small and insignificant. You know, that our own sun, which is excellent, makes up less than 1/4 of all the known stars in the universe. Wow. Wow. 400 might be more than all the Olive Gardens in North America. Some questions I don't want an answer for. Please pass the tour of Italy and the endless breadsticks, please. Bottomless breadsticks. What were they? Endless, bottomless, ceaseless?
Endless.
You guys remember from now?
It's endless.
Endless. Get to the door, please. Oh, this is a wonderful venue. This is a wonderful venue. I've never been here before, but have any of us really? You can only step in a river once. We look backwards to a funhouse mirror and forward into an abyss. Let's finish with a joke. For me, this is an oldie, but it's a goodie. I remember for President Pie Fucker's acceptance speech at the 2032 Republican Convention in the Wisconsin Dells. I'm going to do an impersonation. I don't usually do impersonations. I just, I try to compare things to other things. But I'm going to do an impersonation in this case, so bear with me. I'm impersonating President Pie Fucker, the 54th President of the United States. This is him, not me. This is him. A pie fucker and his boss sit on a ridge above a wide valley, full of delicious pies from all corners of the known earth. French silk pie, apple pie, pecan pie, jello pie, cherry pie, lemon meringue pie, peach pie, pumpkin pie, Boston cream pie, strawberry rhubarb pie, coconut cream pie, moon pie, and so on and so on. As far as the eye could see, all the assembled pies of the world were there, glistening in the afternoon sun. The boy said, "Pa, you watch me. I'm going to run down into that valley and fuck me a pie." President Piefucker said, "No, son, you watch me. I'm going to walk down into that valley and fuck all of them pies." That's my
Thoughtful.
So for Mike.
We have another hour.
It's not over yet, man. Oh, yeah. Thank you. That was the thoughtful comment from the future. Yeah.
There.
Woo! All right, thank you so much for flying in an airplane from the future. That was nice of you. All right. Now bringing the next act to the stage. Bring your hands together, warm it up. Joanna!
Breaks for Mike.
Huh.
This. Hey, everybody!
Hey!
All right, that's nice. I got my annual review at work the other day, and and my boss suggested that I work on my confidence. And I said, "Well, how would you like me to do that?" Because as my boss, she should be able to give me like tangible markers for achieving this feeling. So she said, "When presenting your ideas, be more confident." Sounds good. But what's the big deal? I'm not confident. So what? All right? I do the goddamn job, even with my squat self-esteem. I'm not plucky. I'm stitched together with doubt. Especially at work. Every day I think I'm going to get fired. And I've been there for 14 years. I present my ideas like this. Hey, I'm open to suggestions. This isn't gospel. I'm not married to it. These are just a few things I came up with. Take it or leave it. Sound good? What do you think? Got any thoughts? What are your thoughts? Thoughts? Oh, thank you. Thank you for asking. Here are my thoughts. I think we don't need any more goddamn confident people in this country. In fact, I think people should be a little less goddamn self-assured. Yeah? Yeah? How about a little more? Thank you. How about a little more second guessing? A little less fucking strutting and posturing, and a little more sheepish uncertainty. How about you should stay up all night wondering if you should have included an exclamation point in the boss's email. Hi, Mary, thanks! Instead of, hi, Mary, thanks. Hit your cuticles bloody, right here, just fretting that Jerry is no longer with the company, and we wish her well. That fucking doe-eyed douche with her Jif peanut butter and her oatmeal bowls, use the sponge wand, Jerry! That could be you next. Do you all know about the Dunning-Kruger effect? Yeah. Right? Yes. Plasmin, exactly. So it's based on this study that these two social psychologists did in the 90s named Dunning and Kruger. It basically says that incompetent people do not, and in fact cannot, recognize how incompetent they are. So, like, dummies know what they know, and they think that what they know is all that there is to know. They're confident idiots. Or children, basically. So, I wrote a book as a child, and it was called, still is, called The Kid in Velvet Jones. Now, I don't know. I'm still trying to piece this together. I don't know how at 9 years old I stayed up to watch Eddie Murphy's version of a pimp who wrote a book called How to Be a Hoe. But somehow I did. And reading it now, this fucking thing is terrible. It's really shit. But it got me a ticket to the Young Authors Convention at Hope College in Michigan, which is where I grew up. And I'll give you a sampling.
Yes, please.
Right? It's dedicated to Mom and Dad, first of all. I'll skip the exposition and get to the action, and you'll know what's going on real quick. All right. Ring, ring, ring. The telephone rang. Hello, I said. This is a warning. Get out now, said the robber. Chubbs, come here, said Velvet. Now, said Chubbs. Yes, now, said Velvet. All right, let me finish this banana split, said Chubbs. So I had to go on after Chubbs. I said to put his banana split down, and I'll share the artistic renderings. That's so Chubbs, and there's him going up this impossibly vertical staircase, and then I'll skip to the end, and it's jail. That's how it ends. I know. Awful. I was a confident fucking idiot. All right. And I can think of one prominent leader, a national dolt, if you will, who falls under that same umbrella. President Crumbum. Yeah. And he goes like this. But you know what? I'm not going to do that fucking doggy St. Bernard voice of his. Because I feel like when I hear it, imagine the deep fascia, the musculature that covers your whole body is just covered in thousands of sharp, icy, hot pins. And it just covers your whole fucking, and then the voice comes in, and it just presses, and then it comes in waves like a nausea over and over. That's fucking feeling. And I was going to do an analogy to pin art, but I don't know who knows what that is anymore. Alright, so he goes like this. I alone can fix it! Let me tell you, I'm a really smart guy. I'm a very stable genius. Sorry, losers and haters, but my IQ is one of the highest, and you all know it. Please don't feel stupid or insecure. It's not your fault. I found this brief sampling on the Googs by searching dumb things said by President. So, one might conclude then, from the Dunning-Kruger effect, that smart people know that they're not as smart as they could be, and they're smart enough to know it. The one thing I know how to say in German, or I think I know, is Ich weiß, dass ich nicht weiß. I know that I don't know. And that's one thing I'm confident about. So what I'm saying is, I'm insecure because I think I'm a dummy, what actually indicates I'm a smart motherfucker. So that got me thinking about other words that I can't stand. Perfect. Donna, your order's ready. Perfect. Donna, let's do the 15th at 2 o'clock. Perfect. Donna, perfect. Or yourself in an understood silent you reflexive way. So I say, how's it going? Good. And yourself? Myself is fine. Or late bloomer. So I got my period at age 14. I had my first sexual intercourse at age 23. I got married for the first and only time at age 42. Oh, Joanna, she's a late bloomer. I think I'm right on time. Yeah. How about just a bloomer? 44. I'm almost 45. And as you know, Mike here just turned 40 here. I hope he is energized because midlife is challenging. It is, well, or opportunity rich, as they say. And it feels pretty natural for me to say 45. Just like when I was 31, I adopted this character that it was kind of a bit, but it was real, and it was based on this vibe that I feel like I had going on. So I used to do this character like this. Hello, I'm 31. I finally have a full-time job. I'm drunk anorexic. I took up smoking again. And, oh yes, I've been having sex for 8 whole nights. Now it's a 45, and I don't get steel-cut oats. They're real hard and they're real tiny, and I can't wait until we finish that fucking jug that we bought at Costco 6 months ago. I get emails from Twitter with the subject, Joanna, do you know how to tweet? That's true. I'm not ambitious. I don't read critically. I read too many listicles. I just use the word listicle. I'm addicted to stress and anxiety. I have too much blue light exposure. I get off on my own adrenaline surges. I call my husband CBD oil vaporizer that thing, as in, I used that thing last night and I got real nauseous. Imperial walkers, those Imperial walkers from Star Wars fucking scare the shit out of me, still. Likewise, those marching hammers from Pink Floyd's The Wall, those fucking scare me too. In fact, all of Pink Floyd The Wall. When I pull a yogurt out of the refrigerator, there's a hole in the foil that's like punctured on the top. I think about the maniac who inserted it with cyanide. I'm still affected by the Chicago Tylenol murders of 1982. And all my references are stuck in the 1980s, right? All right. I'm 45, and after saying, "Won't you be my neighbor?" the Mr. Rogers movie, right? I'm still bothered that the mailman's name is Mr. McFeely. Why not Mr. McHandsy? Why not Mr. McInappropriate touching? Right? Well, as it happens, McFeely was Fred's mom's maiden name and his middle name, which clears up a lot for me, because that wigged up, high-pitched mailman ruined my relationship with the Postal Service. I am not an efficient sleeper. I clenched down on my jaw and grit down on a bite guard, which caused what I call mouth bunions, or munions. They're these these bumps on the lower inside of my fucking jaw, and they're really called tori, but because I always call them munions, I can never remember that, and I always end up fucking up and end up calling them nori, and that is a Japanese edible seaweed. Nothing like it. I describe my feelings or feelings with sounds, like my hips and my traps are like "Rah." I'm awkward in most conversations, and I still blame my parents. I tear up when someone pays me a genuine compliment, and Michael, I consider being here a genuine compliment. I thank you for inviting me and being here among the best and most confident people. And in that honor, I have a couple drawings to share. All right, so won't you be my neighbor? And this is Michael's headshot. And then here's a candid. And then finally,